From Worsham Racing in Orange County, California, these are the Nitro Reports for May 2020. Brought to you by Good Vibrations Motorsports, race parts, safety equipment, fuel systems, and blowers sold worldwide at dragparts.com. Aeromotive Fuel Systems, serious fuel systems for race or muscle cars at aeromotiveinc.com. Stith Printing and Legends of Nitro for branding, screen printing, and embroidery at stithprinting.com. Hot Probes, a racer-to-racer company with reliable exhaust gas temperature sensors for your race engine at hotprobes.com. And RacePack Data Systems with data loggers for your race car and digital dashboards for the street at racepack.com. Tonight's on-location guests are Famoso Raceway's Blake Bowser and the National Day of Nitro, Funny Car Champion Del Worsham, Good Vibrations March Meet Funny Car Champ Matt Bynam, Quarter Pounder driver Geoff Monise, Hot for Teacher owner-driver Alex Miladinovich, and piston maker Bryan Moreland from CP Carrillo. And me, I'm Bruce Barker. Now, with the Nitro Reports are Donnie Couch and Darr Hawthorne.
Hey, Donnie. We're here in Worsham Racing for the May Nitro Reports.
I love this mobile studio stuff. We even have a crowd out here. I think we're going to have to get some grandstands.
That's good. Just about all the dignitaries are here. Blake Bowser from Auto Club Famoso Raceway. Geoff Monise is here. Alex Miladinovich is even over there. Mark Dawson. My God, and Del Worsham.
Yeah, well, we got to get a word in with him, see what's going on, right?
Yeah, well, he let us use his shop here, so you'll have to see some of the stuff that's here. It's pretty cool. So we're doing our location deal. We'll be back in the studio next month, but let's break away for a commercial, and we'll see you on the other side.
Good Vibrations Motorsports specializes in the parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or top fueler down the quarter mile, cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has the blower and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready to hear from you at goodvibesracing.com.
Hey, Donnie. We got a guy up next who's sure an important part of all of our lives if you're a drag racer in Southern California, and that would be Blake
Bowser, right?
Auto Club Famoso Raceway. And as I've said, we might have experienced one of the best drag races of this year, certainly, and maybe of this decade at the Good Vibrations March Meet this year.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable.
It was incredible. And on top of that, perfect weather. So that really made it for the fans they didn't leave.
And it really makes it tough for all of us now because we're going like, come on, let us back up there.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do, man.
So I'm going to step out of the way and get Blake up here now.
We're back from commercial break with Blake Bowser. And Blake, you're here to talk about the National Day of Nitro on May 30th. Sure. It's pretty exciting. Everybody's buzzing about it. We've already had a few guys start their cars up and do a little practicing. Tell us a little more about it and how it became what it is.
Yeah, who would have thought we'd have guys practicing for essentially it's what that is, right? So, you know what, this just was born out of frustration. I'm just sick and tired of not being able to open up that racetrack up there in Bakersfield, and I started looking at some shirts online, some rallying shirts, trying to rally people together. I thought, we can do Let's Burn Nitro again shirt, something kind of Let's Burn Nitro. And then funny thing, Cleet Norris, he is our media relations guy there at the track. He read it wrong and said it should say Let's Burn Nitro again instead of Let Nitro Burn again. He says missing an apostrophe S. So we actually said, you know what, you're right. That sounds better doing it that way. So Let's Nitro again. That's what we're doing. That's our little tagline for National Day of Nitro, and really it was just out of frustration, just not being able to have Nitro cars running across the country. And so I had already talked to Kevin Stith at Stith Printing about making these shirts, and his staff there, the artist staff there, jumped on these things and got them done. And then we started thinking about, we could actually have cars fire up, and we don't need to have them come to us. We can come to them through the magic of Zoom and all these latest, greatest little things we're using these days in our new era of living. So I dreamed up, I guess. I presented it to Kevin. He didn't think I was too far off with doing this, and we're asking anybody who's got a Nitro car across the country to pull it out, fire it up, and send it to us through a Zoom feed, and we're going to have a live broadcast on Saturday, May 30th, on our Facebook live page, and we've got yourself and Mike English and Lewis Bloom and Brian Loans and Mr. Steve Gibbs is going to help us kind of carry us through the day and talk and tell stories. And we've got Tommy Ivo is going to give us a little story. And oh my gosh, a lot of guys, I've heard rumor that we might even be getting the Greek. He's going to give us a little story about just swapping stories about Nitro and just a chance to, I jokingly call this just everyone just getting a Nitro hug. We're all just going to get together and talk Nitro all day.
Tailgate party, right? So what do they got to do? They go to the website, nationaldayofnitro.com, and sign up for this. And then it's got to have, I guess, just a smartphone. And they could film it themselves, put it up there, and cackle the car. You guys will control it through Bakersfield in the tower, who's on and who's narrating and all that. It's just...
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be live. I mean, if you can do one of two things. You can record this, send it to us. We prefer it happen on the 30th and be live. And we'll give you the link for the Zoom feed, and you'll use a smartphone and just film the whole thing. We can talk to you. We'll interview whoever we want to, and then we'll fire the car up. Afterwards, we can talk some more, and then we're going to have this happening a lot of locations across the country, and we're gonna kind of have this be a little bit like, you ever watch the show Live PD, how they say, okay, we're gonna go to wherever we think there's, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna go there, talk to them, and let the car fire up, talk more. Then we'll come back to the studio, if you will. We're all gonna be on our own homes or wherever, like you will, or on the road out in Huntington Beach, where we're going to be.
Yeah, I'll be in Huntington Beach with the Bainey family.
But we'll come to you, and you'll say, hey, we're here, and that kind of thing, and we're going to fire the car up and talk to, whoever's going to be there. I'm assuming Frank or,
well, listen, Brian. We went down there and did like a little test deal. They were going to fire the car anyway because they were bored. And Frank, he didn't quite understand the whole deal when he thought about it. I go, yeah, Frank, you just – bring your crew down, have a party, a crew appreciation party, and just cackle it up, and then we'll have them all on this Zoom feed, and it's going to be a lot of fun. He goes, well, I got it. By the time we were done with that, he already had 3 other cars that are coming to his shop, and we're going to cackle 4 cars at his shop. So everybody, it's starting to get that buzz, and people are rolling with it. So are you getting a lot of interest from back east?
We're getting some. I mean, most of our cackle cars are out west. A lot of our nostalgia racers are out west. So we're really strong out west. We're picking up some people that are going to help us out, more in central and east locations. So it's starting to happen. We got boats. We got some guys with some boats that want to do this. We actually got contacted yesterday by a group out of England that wants to fire some cars up in England. So we're working on that. Wow. We have a Canadian car, the War Chief. They're going to have all the gear on, the whole thing. So they're going to do that. We've got a gentleman out of Australia that's going to fire a car up there. So it's really, we could almost change this from national to international Day of Nitro here pretty soon. And I think it's going to happen next year. We're already planning a date for next year because so many folks can't do a lot this year with the limitations we're all facing, but they want to do big get-togethers next year and have big parties and have a barbecue or a car show and have some fuel cards there on display. And then at some point during that event, we'll come to them live and fire off the cars, and we'll do this nationwide. So this really could be a fun national tradition.
Well, I envision it, guys having car shows and barbecues all around the country and meeting and doing it. I'm glad you're going to continue it. It's not a one-time thing. Right. And it's just going to be a lot of fun for everybody. We'll see where it goes.
We haven't had it yet, and we're talking about next year already. So Kevin's real good about getting these shirts ready. We can actually send these shirts out, people that want to sell them wholesale. We want to make sure we mention part of the proceeds from the shirt being sold is going to go to Draw. Right now we're just selling them retail, but our plan is to be able to sell these things next year to groups that want to buy them wholesale, and they can mark up their their $10 and sell them for 25.
Raise some money for Nitro.
Yeah, for putting in the fuel in the tank, right? Yeah. But we will already take out the share for draw out of that as well. So when they get them, they can just sell them. We will put the company's logo on the sleeve. So that's all been planned out by Kevin. Bless his heart. He's got that figured out. So we're looking at doing a big rollout next year with a different designs for next year, but a wholesale opportunity for those people that are having these parties all over the country, and they can sell their shirts and make some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you hold up? So
I will.
These are the best graphics I've seen in a while, and the colors.
There we go. How about that?
The whole thing just pops. So
that's the back, obviously, and there's the pocket logo. That's the terminology, pocket logo.
Pocket logo.
Kevin,
yeah.
Pocket logo. So there we go. That's that one. And then we got the one that I'm kind of partial to here, the old breather mask style. So I keep going the wrong way with the camera. It's backwards. So there we go. How about that? So these are still available. You can just go on National Day of Nitro, and they're $25, and $5 of that's going to go to draw. And then next year, like I say, if we do some wholesale stuff, we're going to get a portion of that go to draw too. So we're going to really throw some money in the pocket of draw and bring them back a little bit. They've kind of been in a little bit of the out of the limelight, which is a good thing. When they're in the spotlight, something's happened that we don't like. Yeah, exactly. So we're happy to raise some money for them, and kind of get them a little bit of a supply of money there, and hope they can keep going.
Hey Blake, I got to ask you, with all this stuff going on with this coronavirus, who do you deal with in the state that tells you that you got to close or you can open? Is it the governor? Is it local, or what is it? It
trickles down. It's the governor, then it's our local county officials, and then it's our local, like our health department. The unique position we're in is our land is owned by the county, Kern County. So, and then NHRA has the lease on that property, and we sublease from them. So I have to make sure that I'm being aware of satisfying the county requirements as well as NHRA requirements, and they obviously right now are not racing. They, meaning NHRA, they will be in August, sounds like. So as long as we get the all clear from the county, then we can proceed. Now the state is giving us requirements for future stages, but our next stage that we're going to go into in California, Stage 3, will be sporting events with no spectators. So that's going to be a lot of small events for us, a lot of testing, a lot of small back gate races. Your bigger events, like a hot rod reunion, may be a little handicapped this year with the restrictions we're facing, but that might change.
Yeah, keeping people separated from each other and 6 feet and.
Yeah. And just the mass gatherings, we might not be able to have that big of a gathering in October. So we're hoping to. We've got national events scheduled in Sonoma and Pomona in November. So we're hoping we can be able to have that thing out there. But if not, we'll go through with what we're told to do and come back next year.
Yeah, we've heard so many stories. Some people say, "Well, we're not even going to race this year." Well, that can't happen. We'll all go nuts, right? I know Paul Lee and his team, Jim O and all them, they're standing by. The car's ready, and they just have to be ready for when they get the okay. And I guess they're going to switch and do 2 days or 2 runs of qualifying on Saturday.
National events,
yeah, and then race on Sunday. So that's going to be different for everybody out there. So we're all going to have to adapt to new things out there going forward. So
yeah, it's the new norm, sadly, right now. So I don't think it's going to last forever. We'll get back to normal situations, and I hope by March meet next year we're not talking about this, and we're just all able to sit by each other and enjoy some good racing.
Well, Nitro cures coronavirus, so you people out there, you can inject it or drink it.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Sound like Trump now.
Oh, good. Okay, I hope my hair doesn't look like him.
Yeah, no, it's you know what, and this is gonna be a good little fix to get through the next weekend and just kind of realize that there's a lot of teams sitting around just like right here in Dale's shop. A lot of teams just sitting around just ready to go, want to go. We got a racetrack that wants to haul butt. We're ready. We're prepping it. We're keeping it ready, and for that moment we get the green light, we'll be back at it.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to get the green light. I know that's why teams are getting ready and they have their cars ready because they don't know. They're going to get the green light and jump in their truck and trailer and head to Auto Club Famoso, we hope.
Dale's been riding my tail about coming up there and testing. He wants to do it. They were actually going to be heading to Chaos, I think, last week, and they saw the forecast and came back and he called and said, "We got the car loaded right now. We'll come to you." And I said, "Hey, we just got to wait till we get the okay on this stage 3, from our governor, and then we'll be okay." So
if you went ahead and did something like that, there's probably bad things that could happen to you, right? They could fine you or shut you down, or it's a serious matter.
yeah, see all the above. Yeah. And also we're not insured right now as far as racing. Our insurance company has let us know if your state is not, or your county or whatever is not letting you race and you do so, you're in violation. So we have no insurance right now to race. We got a county that's saying you can't race and a state saying you can't race. And so we just got to wait it out a little bit longer. We're almost there.
Yeah, well, a lot involved with this coronavirus, but hopefully we'll get back to it. In the meantime, National Day at Nitro is coming up this week, Saturday?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. So check it out on their website, nationaldayatnitro.com.
Yeah.
And if you're a team, get signed up and CACO your cars. If
if you're out there listening, you got a fuel car or a fuel boat, we don't care. Anything burns nitro. We just want to
how about that? How about the nitro margarita machine?
Where's it at? Let's do it. It's somewhere here.
I don't see it. It's got to be in here somewhere. But anyway, we'll check with Dale Worsham on that when he comes up. But Blake, thanks for coming down from Bakersfield. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Not a problem. Glad to be here. Always good seeing you.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be back.
Hot Probe's exhaust gas temperature sensors, used by nitro racers and professional teams like the 2018 U.S. Nationals winner Terry McMillan in his Amelie Top Fuel Dragster. Hotprobes.com. Reliability for the winning edge. Aeromotive Fuel Systems. On the street, in the water, or at the track. If you can drive it, we can fuel it.
All right, we are back. We got Dale Worsham here. Dale, thanks for the use of your shop. I know not too much going on here. It looks like you're ready to go testing and start the season over, right?
Yeah, we are. And, we had just built this brand new team and with Alexis, and we were kind of getting our feet, just kind of get running a little bit and had the car running pretty well and just got halted. So looking forward to getting back after it again. Alexis is really excited. I talked to her today, and she's like, can we match race somewhere? She just wants to run that car, and I'm with her.
Seems to be a pretty good driver, and I know you have a lot of respect for her, but for her to get back in it, what is she saying about it?
She's getting it back, man. She did a pretty good job, even from our first test run. We took the thing to Tucson just to kind of get ourselves going, and her. Actually, we took her up to Bakersfield and put her in my family car right after Pomona, and she made some runs in that. And then we took her to Tucson. We ran her there, and then we took her to Vegas and ran her there, and then went to Pomona. So by the time we got to Phoenix, we had made 20 runs, and we ended up making 28 runs already this year, and she is already back in a position where I think she's ready to start winning races.
Yeah, well, she's a pretty popular driver out there, and I know it's a pretty well-funded team now, right?
It is, yeah. They have a great sponsorship with Rocket Phones and ABK Beer and her father and herself, and they don't, they definitely don't half-ass anything. So we came into this thing, with the right attitude and the right people and the right funding, and we just need to get back after it.
Yeah, well, you've been through a lot. I know you're at Coletta's and won the championship there in the funny car, and you won the championship in the top fuel car of Alan Johnson. So, is it any ambition to get back in the seat at all?
Oh, probably not at that level. But, I always want to drive still. I don't want to just give up driving totally, but I have my car that's in the Middle East, a Qatar at Sheikh Khaled. Still have that one there. I have another one here. And, I guess at some point when I retire and I'm all done racing, I would like to maybe travel around and just kind of show people in other countries and other parts of the world, drag racing and funny car racing. So have a couple cars I would love to, I'd love to race in Kuwait. I'd love to race in Bahrain and Australia and England and all these places that we talked about. So maybe I'll always stay active and maybe be able to do that.
So you got a whole funny car operation over there with the shake, and that's good. It's crazy, huh?
You know, when you gather up all these parts and all this racing you do, there's not a real big value once you're done with it. So rather than just give stuff away or throw it away, I've always kept everything. So we've been able to build a pretty big arsenal of cars. And right now, you know, we have 4 running funny cars. We have a dragster. We have multiple 18-wheelers. And we can pretty much race anywhere, anytime we want at this point.
So you guys are putting a lot of guys in the seat and letting them get their license and stuff in the top fuel car and the funny car?
We have the last few years. Now this year I definitely dedicated myself, you know, the next few years to Alexis and this team and what we have going. But I didn't plan on sitting around for months either. So we have been putting more cars together and trying to think of other things we can do in between. But for right now, we're just waiting for the virus to give us a break so we can go drag racing, man.
I know the big thing for you to do this was to race with your dad again, and you know we're all concerned about his health. We've seen him today; he looks great, and says he's doing well.
He looks real good. Yeah, he comes in every day, has something to do, works on something. You can tell he's feeling well because he's a little mischievous again now, but he's a lot of fun. It's great to be working with my dad again, and back here in Orange County, California, and back here with my family and at home racing. It's nice.
Well, yeah, you got the bowling alley at the shop and the bar or the speakeasy, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, you got a nice shop. You're mounting your own bodies and stuff here. So you got it going on here.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, just like I say, we're just like everybody else, just waiting. You know, I made quite a few calls this week, and I've spoke with NHRA and as many track operators as I could get together with. And everybody's on the same page, man. Everybody's ready to go. So we just need to get things safe enough that we can pull this off.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get to do that soon. And Dale, we appreciate you being on the show, letting us use your shop, and we wish you well for the rest of the season. Hopefully there is the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think we will, and everybody needs to hold tight because when we come out, we're all ready to go.
Yeah, you're buttoned down, and she's doing a good driving job, and look out, folks, right? All right, Dale Worsham, thank you for being on the show.
Stith Printing is your leader in corporate and individual identity marketing with over 3 decades of delivering the best quality garments for your budget and promotions. At Stith Printing, we offer in-house design, providing strong graphic solutions for any project with fabric screen printing or high-density embroidery. Stith's diverse background and attention to detail gets the job done on time and on budget, then ships the job to your door. Whether you field an international racing team, a statewide construction company, a local softball team in a church league, or the convenience store down the street, Stith Printing has the crew to deliver your next printing and branding project.
All right, we're back, and we have Matt Bynam. Matt, winner of the March meet, the 62nd annual. That's got to be big hit in your life, man, right? I mean, to me, you're still a rookie. How many runs do you have in a funny car?
I was thinking about it. I think I probably have 100 maybe now.
100, and you win the March meet, man. That's good for that team. I know they struggled and went through some bodies and cars, and they hung in there and kept coming back. So good team, right?
Oh, absolutely. Cecil and Randy and all those guys they're top notch. You know, those guys, they work hard. They work on that thing every week. You know, I've spent a couple times now that we've been down up there, you know, getting it all put back together because we went through some parts at the March meet, and you know, it's all sitting back there ready to run whenever they give us a green light to go. So,
hey Matt, I remember one thing you said a couple years ago, and I think we had one space available on the 260-mile-an-hour funny car club. And he says, "I'm going to go get that." And it was like, "Oh, fucking rookie," right?
Yeah, it was pretty funny because actually. I don't know if anyone knows it, but I actually was part of Jason's car when we made the first run at 260, and it was cool to be able to get the last spot, too, driving a car. So.
Yeah, that had to be a cool deal for you.
And thanks to Kevin Stith for paying for that and backing it. It's cool. Now we got to go for a 265 club for funny cars.
Well, it's getting pretty close. I was looking, our Q1 run there, I shut it off a little early, but you look at some of the incremental times down there, and it was – It was the same last 320 feet as Johnny Lindbergh's car at Gainesville when it went 264. So, and I shut it off early. So I think, Haran got the speed record from us, but I think we can. When it all comes back together, I think we can run pretty good.
Yeah, hopefully we can get back out there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I want to step out here and
Okay.
have at it.
Thank you, Darr. So, Matt, you work for Dale Worsham and on Alexis's car chief, and so you win the March meet. You come back here on Monday. What was they have a celebration for you, or they harass you?
Well, actually, Sunday night we drove home. Jake, one of our clutch guys on the car, was up there helping us doing the clutch on it, and Sunday night we hopped in the truck and drove home and dropped James off at the airport and came back here and slept up in the bowling alley for a couple hours and actually pulled the truck out that night and parked it down the street, and 5 o'clock in the morning we were heading down to the 91 freeway headed to Gainesville.
Oh, no kidding, yeah. So the short celebration there, right?
Oh yeah, we had our fun going there, and then once we got to the track, we celebrated a little bit. Jake bought a bottle of champagne and hosed us down in the parking lot of the hotel when we got there, but yeah, it was fun.
Well, it had to be after all these cars you've worked on, Gary Dencham's car, to Rupert's car, to Dale's car, the Coletta cars, to drive a car and actually win, the biggest event we have in nostalgia racing. I mean, you had to be floored at the end of the track. Did you get a little emotional?
I don't know about emotional because, everything leading up to it, we had a great car and it ran good. And, we kind of knew that if we stayed within ourselves and didn't do anything too crazy, it was kind of go there. But still, to put 4 runs in a row and not have something break, we broke a transmission the one run and in qualifying, and there's so many things that could go wrong, and then Matt's car was running good all weekend too. So, you still have to put it all together. You still have to leave the starting line. You still have to, make a good run. So, no, it's starting to sink in a little bit more now. The more I think about it and the more stuff like this happens, it's cool.
Yeah, well, it's pretty big, man. I hope you realize that, and you will. But, we've been going up there for so many years, and I know that team has struggled with people running into them, and they've lost 3 or 4 bodies up there, I believe.
Yeah,
So you got hit too, right?
Oh yeah, I've been part of a couple of them.
How does that feel when you're going down there and you just get sideswiped and you don't even know it's coming? What are you thinking?
Oh, the crazy thing, that was my second run next to somebody. It was that Saturday night race. Earlier that day was my first side-by-side run ever, and the second run I get ran into, and you just don't know what's happening. It happens so fast, and obviously everything kind of went with Roger at the end because of everything that went down. But I was finding those guys, they were good. It's kind of ironic, that night Dell was there licensing Jim Campbell with his with the Big Show car, and Cecil was wanting to fix it so bad. We were talking about taking the car apart that night and putting it in his trailer to send it down here because Grant actually is the one that front halved it and fixed it for us.
Nice. Well, I know one time the body came off. Mike Lewis was driving it. I figured they're done for the weekend. And those guys worked all night and pieced that body back together. I don't know who was involved, but it was a miracle they made it to race on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, Lawton Faria and his dad and those guys still come around and hang out with us. And those guys, they work hard. They want to race. They definitely know what they're doing. They just needed – Cecil raced double-A gas for a long time. Had a couple different cars, and he raced for a long, long time and had an accident and kind of took him out of driving. And then he got in the Nitro stuff, and, they were a little intimidated by it. And when I kind of got there, I just kind of told him, you guys know what you're doing. It's – this Nitro stuff isn't that. You got to know what you're doing and have a little, just kind of pointing the way. And we've been racing together ever since and slowly building on it. And, we've always thought that we had a car that could win. We've made good runs. We went 565 next to Rupert at the reunion one year and lost.
Yeah,
and, went to a couple finals at Boise and did pretty well. And to finally, break through and get that win, it was nice.
So, Matt, you were working for Coletta, I believe, when you started driving that car. How did you go about getting that ride in that car? It's not like you had any experience.
No. I worked for Jason for a long time, and when I went to Coletta's, I saved every bonus check I got that year, and me and Jason made a deal to, I bought him some parts and gave him some cash and helped him out with a couple different things. And, after that first year, that next winter, we went up and made the runs, and I didn't know what really was going to happen after that. I just kind of wanted to get a license and had the opportunity and did it. And it was fun, and I was okay with that being the end of it. And then Cecil and Randy came down to visit Nikki, who they bought the car from at the Winter Nationals or the World Finals one year. And, Nikki says, why don't you go talk to Matt about having him drive your car? And that's kind of where it all started. And I went to Sacramento a couple times and drove, and it's turned into a pretty good relationship since then.
Well, you're doing it, and no surprise, you've been around these cars your whole life, and you know every nut and bolt on these things, and so we expected you to do good. But, man, to win the March meet, that's pretty serious, my friend.
Oh, yeah, it's hopefully we can get back to racing this year and see what we can do in the points. It's not every year you get to be leading the points after the race. So we'll see what happens with the schedule and what NHRA goes on, and we'll be racing somewhere, somehow with that thing and just trying to keep working on it, Those guys, we never quit. We've changed some fuel system stuff. You wouldn't think you'd take a car that ran that good and change some stuff, but, we've worked on it. We're trying to fix it from having the couple issues that it had down there, and we'll when the time comes, we'll go out and run it again and see what happens.
Yeah, well, none of us are ever happy with the performance of these cars, so there's always work to do. But we appreciate you taking time out. We know you're working, getting Alexa's cars ready, and you're just waiting, chomping at the bit to go run somewhere and test. So thanks for taking time out. And, again, congratulations from Nitro Reports on winning the March meet. And we hope to have you back on the show again.
Oh, yeah, thank you. This is cool doing it kind of in person, I've called in a couple times, but it's cool to be here live.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we appreciate you taking your time. Matt Bynam, folks, March meet champion. Okay, we're here with Geoff Monise here on Nitro Reports, live from Dale Worsham shop. Geoff, you got a new car at the March meet. You ran pretty good, and what's your thoughts on that new car?
Real happy with it so far. It responded to everything we wanted to do. We had a couple of issues, but we've regrouped and changed a lot of stuff since then. I'm hoping for big things this year.
Well, we're all hoping that there is a year to race this year, right? You were very crafty with your tin work and building a lot of stuff. We really admire you. In fact, I brought Barry Weiss from Storage Wars over there, and he was really impressed. And, are you staying busy with that, or is the car done and you're doing your other stuff, or what gets priority?
The car's never done. The car's not the priority either, unfortunately, because we got to work on the other cars to pay for the car. The body's off getting lettered at Bryco right now, getting some gold leaf, some silver leaf. It's going to look real good when it comes out of there. So we got a Cackle Fest funny car coming in this weekend. We're going to tidy up some stuff on that.
Oh, okay. You going to be part of the National Day of Nitro with that?
Absolutely.
There you go. Mark Dawson will love that, right? So what have you guys been doing? What's your hopes to get back to racing, and how you occupying most of your time?
Working on the house, keeping the wife happy.
Honeydews.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think all of us are doing that, but we're ready to go racing, and we just want to get back up there to Auto Club Famoso for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, looks like everyone else in this building. I've never been home this long.
Yeah, and we're all going stir crazy with it, and I don't know what's going on, but we're ready to go racing. I know that. So we don't know what the plans are for the next race. Nobody knows. But you got that brand new car sitting there, and I know you're anxious to get going somewhere. And, yeah, we got the UNFC races coming up. When are they coming, Darr?
April 24th. July 24th.
Okay, so the UNFC. You going to run any of those races?
Oh, absolutely. If we can get testing somewhere, we're going to go up to Seattle, do the Good Guys deal. 2 weeks later, I think, is Boise, and then 2 weeks after that, Spokane, and we'll go to Tucson after that.
Well, if you run the UNFC races, when you go to Auto Club Famoso, they're going to charge you double for entry fee because that's, competing against each other, right? Joking.
Still worth it, though.
Right? Yeah, we'd pay any amount to be at Auto Club Famoso, especially right now, right?
We talked about going to Funny Car Chaos just to run the car, but that's the other side of Texas. I can't do that.
I think Funny Car Chaos is coming to Auto Club Famoso. Is that true, Mark? Could be. Well, we'll see. That sounds like, confidential information there. But anyway, you're not far from Del Worsham Sharp here, and we appreciate you coming over here and chatting with us. We wish to see that quarter-pounder funny car out there as soon as we resume racing. And thank you, Geoff.
Absolutely, thank you. I just want to say happy birthday, my son. He's 4 years old today.
4 years old, and you're down here with us? You're going to be in trouble, my friend.
Never. He loves it.
Yeah, it sounds like us. Anyway, we'll go to a break, and we'll come back.
Good Vibrations Motorsports specializes in the parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or top fueler down the quarter mile, cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has the blower and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready to hear from you at goodvibesracing.com.
Hey, we got an old friend here, Alex Miladinovich. What the hell you been doing? The last time I saw you personally, you were running a bitchin' Mustang with your lovely wife, and you were having lots of fun there, and then you disappeared.
Well, I had a burst of macho that went horribly wrong, and I thought I could go and be like the Worshams and have a top fuel funny car. So here we are. I sold the Mustang. I built the car in the garage and ran it. Luckily, I thought I was going to be white noise, went out to Pomona, and I got into the show. It took 3 years to build it, took 30 years to go to Pomona. It's all I've ever wanted to do with my life, and here we are. So I miss all my friends at the nostalgia stuff, and we have our mini reunion at Dell's shop tonight. And I'm just glad to be here, and I'm just lucky to be here. Let's be honest.
I remember watching you when you had that top end interview, and you were just like, your hair was on fire, man. You were just like, this is the most incredible thing that ever happened. It was like, do you ever care if you win another round?
Oh no, I came here to party. I love car racing, and this is something I do with my brother. We really have fun just trying to think it and race on a budget. And you get out of the car and you're standing at Amanda, and just she's beautiful, and like you're gonna mess that up. And
I think you got all the sponsor names in.
I had to get them in because they paid the bill, and luckily for me, they contributed some more money. And when this happens, when NHRA decides to pull the trigger, I'm ready to go. So hopefully we can go to Seattle and do whatever it is we do. And hopefully Seattle, we're coming for a party.
Well, let's get you back in so you have a two-car team and get another Mustang going. Because we need you back in the Heritage Series in the UNFC.
No, I'm tired of staring at Jeff Monise's taillights. Rupert and all those guys were beating up on me for so many years. I figured I'll just go to a different class. And not that I think
an easy one, right?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be easy. Again, the whole macho thing. That we thought about that. I have more parts than I've ever had in my entire life. And it's something, I'll drive anything. If we're going to, just like the last run at Lions Drag Strip, it wasn't, the starter. It wasn't Larry Sutton. It was an outhouse on a skateboard that went down. So I'll race anything. It's America. I will race anything. I want to get out to Parker and go run my jet boat, and that's what we do.
Well, if Matt's still busy at the with working on a Lexus car, that there may be a job over with Cecil.
Hey, I'll wipe down the tires and wash the windows and wash the parts. I don't give any lip.
Well, we'll see how the rest of the season goes, but congratulations, man. That was a huge deal seeing you win a round at the Winter Nationals. It was pretty big.
I didn't win a round. I qualified.
Qualified.
I was staring at Hagen's
interview. You might as well have won the event.
It was more humbling staring at Hagen's taillights. It was awesome because I'm a huge drag race fan, and I was in the staging lanes. There's Cruiser, Hagen, and watching all these people do their routine, and Force comes over on a scooter, and I'm like, oh my God, there's John Force. That was big for me, and so that was cool. if I can stay in this game, and again, let's be honest, I'm just lucky to be here. So,
Well, congratulations, and say hi to Marcy for us.
I will do. Thank you very much.
See you.
Stith Printing is your leader in corporate and individual identity marketing with over 3 decades of delivering the best quality garments for your budget and promotions. At Stith Printing, we offer in-house design, providing strong graphic solutions for any project with fabric screen printing or high-density embroidery. Stith's diverse background and attention to detail gets the job done on time and on budget, then ships the job to your door. Whether you field an international racing team, a statewide construction company, a local softball team in a church league, or the convenience store down the street, Stith Printing has the crew to deliver your next printing and branding project.
I got Brian Moreland here from CP Carrillo.
How's it going today?
Good. I invited you over here because we see your logo all over the place. We see it on Del Worsham's car. We see it on a lot of different cars, but CP Carrillo does an awful lot for racing in a lot of different venues, right?
Yeah, we try. We love what we do. We love the people that race. We love all different aspects of it. And we've been doing it well for about 20 years now.
But you do everything from Top Fuel and Funny Car in the Mellow Yellow series to midgets and off-road and bikes?
Motorcycles, experimental aircraft, monster trucks, pro stock, everything in between. A little bit of two-stroke.
How's business been? I mean, everybody's been hit in some way, but you're also, because you're so broad in the market with so many different kinds of racing and street applications,
Yeah.
you know.
It's hitting everybody for sure, but I think that we've done a good job because of the diversity of the products that we offer. So I think there's a lot of people that are at home riding their dirt bikes and working on their stuff in their garage, and maybe we're not able to facilitate the Top Fuel stuff and all the other stuff, but
they've already bought their Pistons for the year.
Yeah. So, it's going to take a toll on them and on us in the later, latter part of the year and all that. But we're still doing a lot. We're busy, kind of focusing more on some other things. We've cut back some hours, about 20%, but we're just trying to stop the bleeding before it gets too bad and be smart about it and just keep things rolling and keep the company alive and happy and able to be ready to support when the time comes, hopefully soon.
Well, with companies like Vinolia going out of business and Nick Arias passing away, there's a lot of consolidation that's been happening with other piston companies, and you guys have grown within, and you brought Arias on board. But
we did. We acquired Arias. I think we've done a really good job at trying to make sure that the product remains very similar to what the customer expected it to be. And then we also had the ability to offer some more futuristic machining techniques per se. It's working out well. I think some of the customers are satisfied with the results. They might have been a little hesitant at first to let us do our things to it, but with the relationships and the great success that we've had, it's just worked out well. So most of that stuff is, Arias does a lot of the big restoration, tractors, experimental aircraft. They do a lot of import. They do a lot of nostalgia fuel, blown alcohol and boats and stuff like that. So it's gone hand in hand real well. I think we blended the two companies as well as we could. And, we're going to keep doing that just the same in the future.
Did you get the Arias Hemi?
No. I wish.
A lot of people tried to make that motor run on fuel, and you know, some were almost successful, and a lot of people have run it on alcohol, and you know, and
Well, and they're running on gasoline in the boats, and you know,
And street
Shane
rods.
and those guys are trying to bring all the blown gas flat bottoms back, and they've done a good job with that as well. So
yeah, nostalgia boat racing.
yeah, open face helmets, goggles, the whole motif.
Right,
so
right.
yeah, they've done a great job.
That's cool. Well, you're here in where, in Santa Ana or Orange?
Irvine, California. Yeah.
And how big is the plant? I mean, that's one thing Donnie and I need to go over and go through on a tour
I
or
think it's
something.
around 88,000 square feet, and we're around 150 employees. We have
All machining's in house.
all the machining's in-house. We have about 100 CNC machines. It's a pretty impressive facility, and you know, I'm understating it because we're humble about what we do, but Donnie has been there, and you can ask him about it. I think he was thoroughly impressed.
That's cool. Well, I'm gonna have to come over too then.
yeah.
Well, thanks a lot,
Definitely.
Brian
Thank
Moreland from CP Carrillo.
Thanks for all your
Thanks
help.
for coming by.
Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
All right.
This is Ron Capps. You're watching the Nitro Report. Don't be a victim.
Well, Donnie, what an evening here at Worsham Racing. My God.
We didn't know we were going to have an audience this time, but it turned out fun. A lot of friends and dignitaries of the sport, like you said, and it's been a fun show. And once again, thanks to Dale for letting us use his shop, and he's got all his stuff opened up out here.
I wish he still had his Mustang here. Didn't Ron Capps hurt that one?
Yeah, it was hanging next door, but I don't know if
There
it's
isn't a
still
next
there.
door now.
Well, we're talking about the Blue Max
Yeah, right.
car,
Yeah.
so
Well,
we'd have to
incredible.
check them on that.
Yeah.
But it was hanging in the wall, and you could sit in the bar by the bowling alley and check out that body right there. It's just iconic, you know.
Yeah, well, it's pretty cool because we were able to get a lot of our friends down in Orange County, and you know, I didn't expect to see Alex
Look
here,
at
and
Mike English.
Mike English is here, and he's all the way up from Mexico, right? Chile. Okay,
Chile.
good. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he always wanted to try socialism.
Yeah, thank Ian too for doing a great job
Ian-
helping us out. And Mark Dawson helping us out.
No, it's pretty. It's you know, these kind of shows are fun. Our next show, if things go okay, I've already booked and paid for a studio that we're going to be moving into in Burbank. Is our old buddy Bruce Barker has repurposed his building, and he's you know, he's going to be doing basically voiceovers. So
Back in the studio?
yeah, he's still in his studio. In fact,
No, us.
yeah, we've got a
I
place
want to
in
do a
Burbank.
live broadcast on the starting line at Auto Club Famoso.
That's a good deal. You're on. Well,
Right?
we're mobile now. It's you know, it's pretty easy to do it. But you know, the nice thing is we can get back in the studio and hopefully anticipate some of the racing that's going on. There, you know,
We'll
I mean,
have to
it's
check.
got to happen.
We'll have to check with management. They're pretty tough up there. So
Well, at least they came down. They drove all the way down here.
exactly, always.
That's great.
They're always a big part of the show, and we appreciate it.
They're definitely good friends. So everybody, take the time to go to nationaldayofnitro.com. If you've got a Nitro car, sign up. If you don't, or if you do, buy one of the T-shirts. It $5 of each shirt goes to the Drag Racing Association of Women, which is a charity that I've been supporting for a long time, and great that we can get some money to them because they do a lot of stuff that actually helps drag racers. And you know, go to their website, which I think is Draw Online, or go through nationaldayofnitro.com.
Yeah. And Kevin Stith, thank you for doing such great graphics on those shirts. And double X here, not a large.
Well, I understand there's some special ones being made, but you know, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. We'll see how much they charge us for them. Oh, yeah? Yeah, it's for a good cause.
So we'll see you again. This has been the May Nitro Reports. We'll be doing a June one from the studio as long as they clear it for, I guess we're going to have to sit 6 feet apart. Here, there's not any regulations. Dell's not going to enforce anything.
We'll do another National Day of Nitro Reports, too.
Yeah, and I'll
get some shirts.
And I'll be doing, I'm not sure. I talked to Don Nelson. He said that if they get the motor together, then they'll do one up at Paso with the California Hustler and a couple of other fuel altereds from up there. If not, I'll be over with Rodney Flournoy and George Doty over at their shop in
They got enough cars over there
yeah.
that they can do it.
Yeah, when we were over there, they had, what, 7
impressive.
fuel altereds? 6 fuel altereds and probably another 8 or 9 engines.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Ronnie Swearingen, who's in the hospital again. Ronnie, we're all pulling for you. Take care of yourself, buddy.
So that's the Nitro Reports for May. We've done enough show.
Yeah, we've done enough shows. Time to get on, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next month.
Thanks a lot.